Well, hello, this is Star Wars Tonight, the debut episode, at least in terms of video. I'm putting this up on the Star Wars Report YouTube channel. We've never really done much video before, but I want to do this quick intro before we got started on the audio version of the show as well. Thanks for listening/watching, and we're going to be doing this more and more in the future at StarWarsReport.com/live via the amazing technology that is Twitch. Scott Ryfin, you're joining me. I appreciate it. If you're ready, sir, I'll go ahead and hit the audio.
No, let's do it.
All right. So let me find this here, and then let me turn this sucker up, and then I'm gonna let me check the level. Yeah. Ooh, that's plenty loud. There we go. Oh, it's a little hot hiss on this Thanksgiving. All right. In a 3, in a 2, in a 1. Welcome to Star Wars Tonight. It is the podcast that helps you get through the terrible time while we all try to wait for Star Wars The Force Awakens to finally hit theaters. It is 21 days until that happens. We've got a great episode for you tonight as it starts right now. I can stay!
Falcon flight with destiny, headlong into the fight. Birds of a feather well weathered together, chasing the dark from the night. Falcon flight with destiny, headlong into the fight. Birds of a feather well weathered together, chasing the dark from the night. Falcon flight with destiny.
Oh, man. It is Star Wars Tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to have a great episode for you. I am Riley Blanton. That's my name. Star Wars is my game. It is Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the 26th of November. I'd like to welcome to the program Scott Ryfin. How's it going, man?
Marvelous. What's shaking, sir?
Oh, well, sir, not too much. Well, I'll tell you what's shaking is my belly. That's what's shaking because I ate 5, and I kid you not, 5 ham croissants. Oh, they were so good. So good.
You know, you know how many ham croissants I had today?
How many, sir?
None.
None?
No, we don't do that.
You don't...
We eat turkey, for crying out loud.
This is true. I'm not a turkey man. I've got to be honest. I'm not a fan of the turkey.
Oh, wow.
I know.
No, I enjoy the turkey.
It's green eggs and ham for me, Sam. I am. Something like that. Something along those lines. We've got a great program for you guys today. So glad you're tuning in. And to those joining us live at StarWarsReport.com/live, we do really appreciate it. It's a live experience, and we're always tweaking it, always working on making this a better show for you guys listening to the podcast version and listening live and watching live. If you're listening to this via podcast, which is the majority of you, make sure you go over to twitch.tv/Riley Blanton. Scott, this is like the only social network I've ever had the opportunity to actually get my actual name. That tells you how new. It tells you how new this whole social network is. But yeah, no, it's if you head over to twitch.tv/Riley Blanton, be sure to click the follow button, and you'll get a notification whenever we go live, which is about each and every Monday through Thursday at about 5 p.m., give or take, depending on the day. So that's what you want to do. And also, a huge thank you and shout out, as always, to those who are supporting us financially at patreon.com/Star Wars Report. That is where we give you guys all kinds of bonus content. And this month in particular, we're giving you the Friday bonus show. We need like a jingle. It's Bonus Fridays for the patrons. I can't sing, which is why I shouldn't do that. Okay. And one final thing. In terms of housekeeping, and that is to those of you watching this, thank you as well. If you go to the YouTubes and search for the Star Wars Report, you'll find our channel, and that's where I'm going to be posting video versions of this. This is the debut one, and I'm very excited to have Scott Ryfin on board as we're experimenting with all this technology. Because fortunately, Scott, the thing about technology is it always works really smoothly exactly when you want it to.
Oh, no, yeah, no question about it. Always, and we've proven that by getting started exactly on time tonight.
Exactly. I don't know why anyone might think differently, he said,
No,
sipping his
no.
coffee.
Not at all. Yeah, so what is my beef tonight?
Your beef tonight.
Or turkey?
I was going to say, that was
Because we're
Tuesday,
talking
so.
turkey tonight.
Well, it is because we've got a little bit more time as usual, and as I mentioned on yesterday's show, as we can, we will go long on the episodes. It just depends on the schedule of myself and the co-host if we can. And tonight, I mean, I could be hanging out with some family members, Scott, but I'm not. I'm much happier, much more happy to be podcasting live right now.
Of course.
So let's talk about Star Wars. You like this Star Wars thing, Scott?
I'll tell you. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let me get a little more light on me. There we go. There we go. I was a little too dark. Let me just say this. First off, I was a little critical of all the people who are just going crazy about the spoilers and shutting off the trailer. Like Teresa has gone insane.
Yes.
You know, Teresa, I don't ever want to see anything else, not a second, not a tenth of a second, not anything. And I thought that was a little silly, a little overboard. But I am now, after having seen the most recent trailer that I've seen.
Was that today's Kylo Ren?
I've now gone way too far, way overboard. I can't see anything else. It's all going to be ruined for me if I don't just stop with the spoilers right now.
Do I detect any hint of sarcasm, sir, or have you truly
No,
made
that's
the
it.
conversion?
I'm cutting it off, man. Let me tell you something. When they showed Rocky in the hospital, I thought that was way too much. So until I see Creed, there's no more spoilers for me. No trailers, no TV spots, nothing.
Which, by the way, I heard it's really good. But
yeah, well, don't tell. That's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert! It's really good.
Spoiler alert! It's good.
No, what's funny is it's a rather comedic descending progression. It's like Teresa was the first one, and then I was like, it took me a few more TV spots, and then I was like, oh, okay, I think I've seen enough footage, and then today they released yet another Thanksgiving Day TV spot, 60-second TV spot, which I feel like I should now queue up, but I won't because I saw one. Kind of what I'm doing, Scott, is unless it depends on the mood. And I'm very moody about it. But sometimes I won't watch them at all. Like, I don't think I've seen TV spots 5 through 7. But
really?
But with the most recent couple, I have seen them. But I usually watch them once, and then I'm good.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of story being handed out anywhere. It's all a little visual here and there, and it all looks like it's for maybe 2 or 3 spots of the film. I don't think these spots are doing anybody any damage.
We are seeing a lot of new shots, but we're not seeing new scenes, really. We keep seeing new versions of Kylo Ren, like today's. We saw more shots from the scene where Kylo Ren is torturing everyone's favorite Guatemalan. But Oscar Isaac, for some reason, I don't know why, I blanked on Oscar Isaac's name for a second there. But
you got Guatemala.
I got his native country right, but I couldn't remember his name. But you're right. I don't think we're getting. I think that it's probably a negotiation where I'm imagining the marketing side at Disney is talking to the story side at Lucasfilm, and they're like, "Give us what scenes we can get footage from." And so we're seeing, of course, the X-wing battle over the castle, and we're seeing the torture scene with Oscar Isaac and Kylo Ren. We're seeing the shot of the Millennium Falcon flying over Jakku, and we're seeing all kinds of stuff about Jakku in terms of Daisy Ridley and John Boyega hanging out there and getting shot at by TIE fighters and all that. We're seeing lots of those shots and variations of them, but I still think there's a large chunk of this film that we have no idea what's going on.
Oh, right. I have no doubt you're absolutely right. There's something else. I want to throw this into the mix. I was actually, this is not in my notes for the show program tonight, but I got to throw this in here because part of a conversation I was having with Anthony Bresnikan the other day. You know, I interviewed him for my Star Wars story. The Jimmy Mack episode should be out this week. Bresnikan's will be out as soon as I can get it done after that.
Awesome.
But one of the things, somebody went and reposted an old set photo from the location in England where where the drone
Oh, you're
took all
talking
the
about
pictures. Remember
Greenham
that?
Common, yeah.
Yeah, and there is a shot that purports to be Adam Driver in an X-wing uniform, and somebody dredged that back up.
I forgot about that. I saw that.
Yeah, I had too. And somebody dredged it back up a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, I said, what do you know? And of course, Bresnikan either is a really good poker player or just really doesn't know. But either way, I have no idea. What do you think? And we talked about it for a little bit. And this is just all out there because I don't know. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I'm not making Star Wars. Those guys know. But I find it interesting. They keep showing this shot where Poe is walking by Finn, and he kind of gives him that pat on the shoulder and says a little something to him and walks off. And then the camera wheels around on Finn, and Finn has got this very weird look on his face.
Yeah.
Now, the next question is, okay, is that actually Adam Driver in an X-wing uniform? If it is, why? And does it have anything to do with his getting into Poe's head? I think most of us know or believe that interrogation scene with Kylo and Poe Dameron's near the beginning of the film.
See, this is your problem. You're piecing things together, and I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable, Scott. I register my nervous. You should have. Did you hear Brian Brushwood on the Star Wars Report a couple weeks back?
Yeah.
It was almost hilarious to me, but I also genuinely felt bad because he's like progressively more and more like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Well, I'll stop there, but I just think about that for a while. Think about all those different pieces and put them together the different ways that you can put them together. Because I just think that's interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, man, there are, and those are the kinds of pieces that I think we can start to put together based on the footage we've seen so far. And, Bobby Roberts, who's been on the not this show, but he's been on Star Wars Report a number of times, has basically, I saw a tweet, I think, that he had put out saying that you can kind of start to piece together the structure of the film, and some people are getting it right based on the TV spots, which is hilarious to me because you can literally go to Making Star Wars right now and read a plot summary that they've constructed.
Yeah. And their track record has been pretty spot on.
Yeah. Which I don't know, man. It's I've gotten to that stage. I've talked about it a little bit, but I think I am at the point where if new footage presents itself and is attractive to me and I'm in the mood, I will watch it, but I will not be analyzing it and watching it over and over and over again or anything like that. I think I have hit peak excitement. I mean, I've never.
Well, that's not good because you still got 3 weeks.
Well, and see, that's the problem. Is I don't really know what to expect or what is the norm when you're waiting for a Star Wars movie, because by the time I was hitting Star Wars fandom, at least to any great extent, all the movies had come out. So,
well, yeah.
I don't really know what I should or shouldn't be expecting or feeling, but I'll be honest, what I'm feeling now is, I don't know, a certain kind of trepidation of learning too much.
Well, I don't think that's a big fear. It's funny because I'm going over, as I told you, I'm scoring the Jimmy Mack episode of my Star Wars story, and he and I. It's interesting because it's kind of, if it's like any other episode we've done, it's like Steve Glosson's episode, in that it's a lot more of a two-way conversation than just as I've told you before, I try to record the interview and then remove myself as much as I can from it, and Steve's and in mine, in Steve's and Jimmy Mack's, it's hard for me to take myself out of it because there's so much back and forth going on. And one of the things we talk about is Empire Strikes Back. He read the novel before Empire Strikes. Now think about it. Of all the films, to get totally spoiled on, he read the novel of Empire Strikes Back before he saw the film. I got the super special, the Marvel super special, the night before I saw the film. So, and I read it straight through. And I'm going to tell you something. It does not make it any less one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen in my life, just for having read the comic book first, and for his just having read the novel first. I mean, you can obviously see it didn't diminish our fanhood.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But,
so,
man, see, this is tough. Steve Glosson, God bless him, rightfully pokes fun of me all the time for how easily I'm swayed by the winds of the internet. But it's true. I think maybe I'm being just a little bit too much influenced. That maybe seeing too much is seeing too much. Yeah.
But it's I used to you know who Jeffrey Boehm is.
Why do I know the name?
Jeffrey Boehm wrote Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon 2 and 3, Inner Space.
Okay, so I've just heard the name, but that's kind of all I know.
Lost Boys. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say I've heard the name, but that's kind of all I know.
Okay, well, Jeffrey Boehm was a screenwriter. Obviously, he was my favorite screenwriter. I got to know him in the early 90s. There were a couple of years where we'd talk every month or every other month on the phone, which back then, long-distance calls were not cheap, and he always paid for them, which I always thought was great. And we would talk about story and that kind of thing because I was interested in doing this. And he would get really frustrated with me because he was starting to tell me about something that was coming up. Well, this one we're going to do this. And I said, no, don't tell me. And he'd say, well, I can't really convey this idea to you without telling you this. And well, don't tell me. And he'd say, but you're not going to ruin the film just by knowing what happened. It's all about the execution. And so I think that was something that I had to learn from him was it's not really just about the shocks and the twists and the turns. Maybe it is with some M. Night Shyamalan stuff, but by and large, if it's executed well, if it's told well, if it's performed well, knowing what's going on going in is not going to be an issue. I mean, this Hunger Games movie's doing quite fine for people, and everybody knows about it. Everybody knew it was going to happen to all the Harry Potter movies before they came out, right?
Yeah, no, I could see that, but at the same time, I didn't know what was going to happen in the Harry Potter films, and I really loved watching them the first time because I never read the books.
But you could have.
But I could have, yes. And I think maybe there's something about podcasting about it every day that maybe I'm just overthinking it a little bit. And I think when it comes to the screen darkening and the movie starting and hearing the Disney fanfare, no, I'm kidding. We won't hear that. But I love the wince. This is why you have to watch the video version, folks. But I will say this: it's one of those things that I think there will be a certain element of me that has to disconnect from the podcaster Star Wars fan and just kind of purge myself of the overly analytical and overly huge Star Wars fan. And just for some reason, I think there's going to be a part of my brain that I have to shut off to fully just sit back and appreciate the story that's told in front of me without being clouded by the communal aspect of it.
If it does its job right, you won't have to shut off that part of your brain. It'll do it for you. Okay.
What would be an example?
If this movie does what it's supposed to do, you won't have to worry about that.
So what to you is the best example of that? A movie with high expectations that we might know a lot about, that's a huge cultural touchstone, but that everyone goes in and you forget about it. Because the first thing that jumps to my mind is Guardians of the Galaxy, but it doesn't fit that category because so many people did not know that much about it.
No,
but it still has that
Guardians
flavor of
very different. Yeah,
you just start watching it and you lose yourself and forget about it.
Well, I think the Avengers was that way though. Again, I think for people who enjoyed Twilight, I think that was that way. I think the Hunger Games films, again, for people who enjoy them, I don't. I saw the first one, I was interested, and I couldn't stand it. But those are that way. All of the Harry Potter stuff, and people went nuts. You know, at the time, that second part of that last Harry Potter movie opened at over $100 million, which at the time was you didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
and nobody seemed to care, and they all got swept up in it. And I actually heard people tell me. I guess it was a couple films before that actually, but when what happens to Dumbledore happens to Dumbledore. People tell me, it really got to them. Mm-hmm. Well, these are people who read the book. They knew it was coming. They knew it was going to happen. It still got to them. So, I think if the movie does its job right, I don't think it matters. I also, by the way, got the Return of the Jedi Super Special 5 days before it came out and read it. Had promised myself I wouldn't read it, but then my fellow Dinner for Geeks co-host Jeff was outside reading his, and I went, he's not going to know everything, and I'm not going to know it. So I sat and read it that day.
Nice. Yeah, it's an interesting balance, and I think you're the anti-Teresa for us tonight, and I feel like it's